For those of you guys that want to know what books I currently have from the library, I have books by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, All In, Bad Blood, because I actually have book 2 on my Kindle right now to read and then get to these. Because my library does not carry the second book in the series physically. They only have an ebook copy and there's people in line waiting for it. I had to buy it myself, and then these 2 I get to read. From there, they have book 1, 3, and 4 physically. I really prefer physical copies of books, especially as someone who's writing books, because I like to just be able to see the formats of it, look at it, and hold it in my hands, and I always prefer that. So, yeah. After we're done with our ebook, book 2, we'll move into these 2. Something I will say I'm hoping doesn't happen is that she doesn't end up with Dean in these books, because that was one of my gripes or issues with Inheritance Games. She didn't end up with the character I wanted her to end up with, and I really felt like it would have gone over better in a lot of ways than the character Avery ended up with in the Inheritance Games. Now in this book, I want her to end up with Dean. They actually genuinely have a lot more chemistry, a lot more like push and pull of his history plus her ability and her history. It really would go really well together. And I also just think that I like his personality better as well. Don't get me wrong, in fiction I acts like he's cocky and all of that, plus a bag of chips, but he cares a lot, he's humble and all that stuff. But I haven't preferred those types of characters in her books. Also, I noticed as I'm reading these books in the Natural series, there's a lot of similarities with how the dynamics play out, where I was like, what? Like the dynamics of a love triangle, a character that likes to be kind of like looking for distractions, be fast and all that stuff, and likes fast cars and things of the like. That's very similar to Jameson, I think his name was, in the Inheritance Games. I do feel like the main character in both Avery and then Cassie in this book, I feel like their personality doesn't really like leap off the pages like I would want it to. It doesn't feel like you're getting much from them. It might change as I read on, because I only read the first book. But from the first book, I feel like most of her personality was her ability. It wasn't like we really saw her interest or a unique character voice. And maybe it's because I'm a writer. It could be different for a reader's experience as just strictly a reader. The more interesting characters would be Leah or Sloane. And I don't like Leah 100%. I think she's supposed to probably be unlikable, and maybe she'll grow on me more as I go into the series, but I feel like Leah is just so disrespectful in a lot of ways. Vengeful, vindictive. I don't really like Leah. I like the fact that her ability is really fascinating, like being able to spot lies, be basically a human lie detector. I think that's really fun. I like how she dresses. Like, I love the edgy style. If I could, I would wear that. Like, I'm planning to get my wardrobe like on point with that. But I do feel like I enjoy how impulsive she is, but also her flaws really are taking like the center stage with her character. So I don't love her character that much. But I'm in chapter 2, so we'll see. I actually forgot what the premise of this one is. Oh yes, okay, I was right. I mean, I had a hint of it. It's about a copycat killer. Okay. So I know the next one is something with Vegas. I actually read a blurb of it, and they're playing a game of poker with Oreos as the chips, which I think is really fun right now, so it made me think of it. But I'm eating a California King Pizza Kitchen pizza. This is my first time having one. I did make it on an air bake pan instead of directly on the rack, because I'm like, I don't have a paddle to be scooping it up. I don't have that corporal punishment paddle to, like, you know, I'm just kidding, a pizza paddle. So I'm not putting it on an oven rack and then hoping for the best I can get it out without messing something up. Especially because obviously when it just bakes, it's not set completely. Nah. So I put it on an air bake pan. I don't think that affected the flavor at all. It looks good, looks appetizing. It tastes decent. My favorite part is the pepperoni and cheese, but I also just don't like thin crust in general. I prefer a thicker crust. But outside of that, we read on. Guys, I just realized I was not in frame for that entire clip. I don't want to do it over because I really feel like I articulated well what I wanted to say, but I'm sorry about that. So now I'm on chapter 7 of book 2, and like reading wise, and I'm like, what? Also, this is a spoiler vlog, so for those of you guys that don't want spoilers on the series, Just letting you know up front, because I want to talk at length about the series, because where else am I going to? I should have seen it coming that Agent Sterling is the ex-wife of Agent Briggs, because they have that feel to them as like giving their exes or whatever. Like I don't know if I would have surmised or come to the conclusion that they were married before, but they definitely had history. If they were partners in the FBI, how could they be married? Because of that conflict of interest, or that conflict that usually disallows it. But yeah, you can already see the external conflict coming in of this agent that was part of the takedown with Dean's father, as well as the fact that she's being very obstinate and difficult in comparison to Lacey from book 1. I definitely always will say about Jennifer Barnes' books, Jennifer L. Barnes, her books are always very easy to read. They're very fast-paced. For me, because I've had 2 books from the library that I've been kind of trudging through, it helps to have fast-paced books as well, so that way it helps keep you from a reading slump. So it helps me move a little bit quicker through them. But yeah, and I don't know that this is going to happen in the rest of the series. I would like if there are more members maybe introduced. You could have someone with a photographic memory, or you could have someone, I don't know, like other abilities in the group that would introduce a different dynamic. But also, I mean, we have plenty of characters already. My only thing is like there's like 3 profilers, and I feel like that may be too many cooks in the kitchen, and I would like to have seen more variety, but we'll see as we continue. And then, just as I said, I read on, and then Sloane's like rattling off the facts like about ruling out intermarriage with agents that are paired together in the same team. I'm like, so it answers it immediately. I just like the timing of it. Okay. It's 1:17 a.m. I spent the past several hours reading. I got to 60% as I showed you guys, so I read quite a lot. And actually, ignore this. This is for a magnetic breathe right strip I have, but I just removed the band. Yeah, this is the book actually that had the girl named Sadie. I have like 3 books from the library right now that have a character with that name. It's the trip. Oh, Leah, she's kind of growing on me somewhat here and there, like I thought would happen. I feel like there's just more to learn about her that would really develop that further. I think my issues were just because I felt like she was just such a mean character unnecessarily. I understand being protective over someone and having walls up, but I guess I just felt like her positive traits that she displayed were not strong enough to balance out the flaws she had. But I mean, I'm enjoying it, of course. And also interesting about my mouth was literally like, my mouth dropped when I saw the reveal about Sterling, Agent Sterling, being one of the victims, or one of the survivors actually, of Dean's father. That actually took me aback quite a bit. Another thing that's interesting is like there's a character, obviously Agent Sterling, and I have a character named Sterling in Briar's book. So, you know, stuff like that I have to be like, I have to get over it. But either way, this is always a fantastic read for the most part. Yeah, it's just so quick to get through. And yeah, I'm also been playing Dress to Impress today. I got a blizzard. My mom got me a Reese's blizzard from Dairy Queen on top of the pizza I had. But I played a little bit of Dress to Impress Style Showdown. I might get on a master server as well for a bit. I had to decide because I'm kind of tired now, but we'll see. I knew they captured Cassie when I least expected it. She didn't activate the tracker. Are you serious? I literally was like, oh, it's gonna come in handy, but that was like a red herring of sorts. I thought that was gonna come in handy. She got captured. Boy. So I finished The Naturals. I hope I'm frame. Oh, I finished The Naturals book 2 rather. I definitely kind of thought about certain aspects coming to be that she and Agent Sterling would get on better like towards the end of the book, that they become friends, that the tracker would come into handy, that she would hopefully end up with Dean, and thankfully so far she has. But since there's 2 other books left, I'm a little concerned about that, because I felt like actually this book would have done really well as a final book in the series, but if there's something with her mother to be done, then that could be the 4th book. I was just like, this kind of feels like it makes sense to be the last book, with everything with Dean's father, with her picking someone. And at the same time, it felt very much like wishy-washy, where it could have just as easily been her picking the other love interest, because I'm still not 100% convinced she would have picked Dean had he been the one to find her. I'm really not convinced with how she was acting. What is there that you like so much about the other guy? Like, genuinely, what is it you care so much about him that you find that he's like possibly the one for you? I just don't see it. I don't get it. Let me get the second one, or the third one rather. All in this reading vlog. After a string of brutal murders in Las Vegas, Cassie Hobbs and the Naturals are called in to investigate, but even with the team's unique profiling talents, his murders seem baffling. Unlike many serial killers, this one uses different methods every time. All the victims are killed in public if the killer does not show up on any security feed, and each victim has a series of numbers tattooed on the wrist. Hidden in the numbers is a code. And the closer the Naturals come to unraveling the mystery, the more perilous the case becomes. Meanwhile, Cassie is dealing with an equally dangerous and much more painful mystery. For the first time in years, there's been a break in her mother's case. As personal issues and tensions among the team mount, Cassie and the Naturals will be faced with impossible odds and impossible choices. 376. I read the last line on accident, but it's fine. It's nothing spoilery. 376 pages. I'm very excited. It's very thick. I love physical copies, so this will be a lot of fun. After this, we have one left. Just reading the first page. It starts with a U section. So my thing with how I feel about Leah, I think she's growing on me. Like I said, I feel like in the last book, I think she's growing on me more. I kind of expected to see her reaction to Cassie comes back from, being taken captive and everything. I kind of expected to see what she would say, if she makes some kind of wisecrack or whatever. But either way, it'll be interesting to see how all that plays out now in this book. And like every single book, she's going through something. Something I will say that I wish we saw more of is Cassie's profiling actually being more effective. Maybe it's to some extent makes sense you see it where it fails, but I think we haven't really seen her where it's been utilized to the extent I would have wanted. It's being used, but it's just not like her profile is not coming into play to the same degree that I would expect. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm like, girl, what you talking about? We see it pulling, just seeing its effectiveness more. I hope like she's kind of gonna get better with that, and it'll be interesting to see how Dean is as well with the whole thing with his father, because also how is his father gonna respond with everything that happened with the warden. And also I thought there was something off about the warden, but I didn't suspect him as being the one behind everything, just like I didn't suspect Lacey. So that actually got me. Those were actually plot twists that got me. I didn't expect the warden in that way. I just kind of was like, I thought it was weird, but now it makes sense why he specifically brought Sterling and Cassie in to watch the interrogation, why that was playing out like that. It was very weird, and I knew that then, but now it's like it makes a lot more sense. But yeah, outside that, we begin. Also, I know this is like a puzzle, but it reminds me of a block of cheese. And I like puzzles, so also so does Cassie. So this is where I'm currently at in book 3. I'm on page 134, chapter 24. So far, I'm like enjoying this more than book 2, quite frankly. I just got finished filming my commentary for The Sandlot 1. I was filming my commentary for like 2 hours. I did like eye black and stuff like that just to kind of go along with it. But yeah, so this book is actually really enjoyable. I love the focus on Sloane so much. I did feel like Leah was kind of being harsh, being like, you found out more about your dead mother, or presumed dead mother, but at the same time, don't focus on that because other people have problems. I get not wanting to obviously like leave your other friends to their own devices and stuff like that, but I feel like it was a little much. I could tell she obviously cares about her, but at the same time, and tough love can be needed. I'm like, girl, let her have time also with it and process it at the same time. So I don't know. I felt a little iffy about that part, but I'm finding this one more fascinating. I'm enjoying more than book 2 so far. Book 2 wasn't bad or anything, but I feel like this one is a lot more engaging. That's what it is. It feels a lot more engaging. I love that they hit the ground running. Went into the case a little bit after the whole scene with her at her grandma's house. I think it's her grandma on her dad's side. I loved how they hit the ground running and went straight to Vegas in this book and how it's playing out. yeah, I still am like, Dean is the better choice because the way her other love interest Townsend's acting is genuinely so immature. I understand having flaws, but he just seems so immature. He's self-destructive. It's just so annoying. It is giving his age. And you don't have to be immature at age 17, but he's acting like, you know, where he's giving that age a bad name. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still very much wanting Dean to be the one, but I have a feeling that Dean's not going to be the one she ends up with in the end. One, they got together in book 2. 2, things were fully resolved with the other love interest. And 3, she put Avery together with a love interest that was very similar. I'm thinking she's not going to do it in this one. It would be nice if she deviated from the pattern she established. I would be glad to be surprised and come to book 4 at the end and be like, oh my gosh, it actually is so much better. Because obviously all of them have so many issues. I'm like, really, no one should be dating anybody if we're being real, talking in a real world sense, because they all need healing. They all need inner healing. None of them should be dating anybody because none of them are in a position to handle that at all. But in the fictional sense, I want her redeemed. The end. I forgot to vlog today on my 27th birthday. It's literally March 12th, 10:47 p.m. my time, so it's almost over. Yep, March 12th. I'm editing Lion King right now. Bada bing, rough cut. And I'm like already at the point where Aaron Shaw just got killed by Bo, and I'm like, you really killed off the only family Sloane had, like the only one that actually had a vested interest in her. Well, not her only family. Everyone of the Naturals is a family, is like family to her. But I'm just like, dang, you really did that. So like right now they're trying to figure out a way to prove that Bo did it, and I'm just like, wow. I actually don't know that I suspect he would get killed. I don't know. I kind of think, I'm not surprised that it was Bo behind it, but I didn't expect that it would be Aaron to die. It's wild to me. So, yeah. I finished The Naturals. I'm just kind of like sharing my immediate thoughts. I know I look really like messy right now, but I just felt like the ending was somewhat abrupt. I felt like there's a lot of shocking plot twists, like Agent Sterling being the leader or one of the leaders, and I kind of was like, what about Laurel being his daughter as well, about Cassie having to kill her mother, and what's Agent Sterling's first name? Her having to kill her father. I got the part about other Naturals needing to be recruited, but I just felt like we didn't. There were certain moments in the story that didn't have the telling the time I felt like it should have had. Leah joining the cult undercover didn't go on as long as I felt like it could have. Or Cassie, even in captivity with her mom. I feel like throughout the story there were certain moments where it was like in the third book I felt it was like redundant, where there could have been deeper action like that. This story was way darker than expected. There's a lot of things that are very real. The whole thing about having a part that takes the place of the trauma, like is the one that handles it and takes it. The whole thing with the cults, the program, like just so many things are based in reality, and it's so unfortunate about the religious aspect because like all that crud is so muddled and false. What it means to be worthy and all these different things, and salvation, repentance is just so twisted and incorrect about what salvation and repentance really is, and that stuff bothers me. There are certain elements to this book that just bothered me because it was just like, I did not expect it to go that direction. Also, I felt like there's so much that didn't get fully resolved, and there's always obviously an option for an open-ended story, but I was just like wanting more out of it after all the 4 books, 370 something plus per book pages. I just kind of felt, actually now that I think about it, How many pages did I read total? I'm just gonna do a rough estimate real quick on the calculator. If each book was like around 379, I could be wrong. I read approximately 1,516 pages from the series. What? That's actually wild to me. I know there's another book in the series called like 12 or whatever. I don't know what that's about. Wrong. 12. Okay. 4.5. Mackenzie McBride. Oh, it's about her? Now 23 years old, Cassie and her fellow naturals have taken over running the program to taught them everything they know. As a unit, they're responsible for identifying new naturals, particularly in impossible cases when their latest case brings back blah blah. Cassie and the other naturals find themselves racing against the clock and reliving their own childhood traumas in a small coastal town in Maine. But actually, they're in Colorado at the end of book 4, so I don't know why. There's been a rash of teen suicides, or at least that's what the police believe. Mackenzie McBride, age 12, thinks differently. Desperate to make herself heard, she stands at the top of a lighthouse, threatening to jump. Unless the FBI agents who rescued her from a kidnapper at age 6 come to hear her out into the naturals. It doesn't take Cassie long to realize that Mackenzie isn't bluffing. She truly is convinced that suicide is a murder, and she really will jump if she can't get the FBI to believe her. To the outside world, Mackenzie is nothing more than a traumatized child, but so is Cassie. Once upon a time, so are Michael, Dean, Sloan, Leah, and Celine. With the storm rolling in off the ocean and Mackenzie's position becoming more precarious by the moment, the naturals have very little time to get to the truth about the deaths and about 12-year-old Mackenzie McBride. Okay, so it's actually like, yeah, book 4.5, so it's after this one. I kind of want to read this one. It's a novella. That's why I figured, yeah, it's shorter than probably. It's got mixed reviews, which is like not surprising in general from just Goodreads, but I might get it. If it's, I don't know if it's at the library. I might have to get it on Kindle again, but yeah. I just wanted to give my takes on this book. Man, it's been a journey. Here it is. 379 or 372 pages long. All done. Oh man, this vlog series on these books has been wild. I see there's others out there for the natural series. I want to watch their vlogs and see what they think about it, because it's always fun to have that camaraderie with people that vlog and take you along the experience. So like, yeah, I want to see that. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed these vlogs if they see the light of day. And look forward to any other reading vlogs we might do, because I have a bunch of new library books to read. So I'm going to be vlogging as much as I can, vlogging my writing, vlogging my reading, vlogging lifestyle stuff. So I hope you guys look forward to it, and see you all next time. Bye guys, and smiles all around.